Hello beautiful people. This message is going to be about the sounds of the one tongue. You can reference the One True Fact Society page I have on the internet, or my timeline on Facebook as Decahedron Void. The one tongue expresses the 50 distinct sounds that the human voice can make. And this is just to illustrate those vocally so people can hear what they sound like. Now, I'll start with the vowels, for in some ways that's simpler because there's only 5 vowels and each vowel comes in 4 variations, so we have 20 vowel sounds. But the difficulty is that the way I present them is not the way they're written down in language. So in listening it will make sense, but if you think in terms of actually how vowels are written in the English language, or in any language really, there is going to be some confusion. So, 5 vowel sounds: A, E, I, O, U. Now, if you watch the mouth, they make a nice little cycle. A-I-O, 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 A-I-O. The mouth going up and down and sideways, 2 cycles, 2 interacting cycles, making the complete sequence. Now let's take A to start with. A, when normally pronounced in English, people say A, which is A-E, not A. So we need to get that out of the way first. There's a whole bunch of vowel sounds can be made from combining these 20 sounds together, but we're talking about the 20 distinct sounds. The vowels primarily come in 2 types, open and closed. So with A, we have R, A and R. You'll notice it's the same mouth shape, but A is higher in the throat and R is further down. And secondarily, they come in long and short versions. So A has E and R has A. Right, so let's take that apart. If we take A, sorry, I'm sticking an E on the end of it myself, it's so habitual. If you take A and shorten it with the same mouth shape and the same intonation, etc., we get A, which is the French E acute, frappé. And so we have A and A. And on the, I call these the open vowels. The closed vowels are, when shortened, becomes A, which is, we usually spell as a U. And if you try and pronounce but slowly, you get Bart. Bart. It's pretty much the same sound. It's the same mouth shape, the same intonation. So if we just go through the open sounds, A and E and I. So the short E becomes an I, as in bin, and E as in bean. And again, if you try and pronounce bin slowly, you get bean. The third one, I, when pronounced shortly, is A, which is more like a U sound. The fourth one is O and O. Forgive me, O and O, which again is more of a foreign pronunciation. and oo as opposed to u, it's just a straight oo sound, and oo. That's along the short versions, and the closed versions are get you r, e, a, or again the same mouth shape, I, or when pronounced all together, and the mouth does that and that in two opposing cycles. So R becomes A, which is, as I said, usually a U sound. E becomes E. A, sorry, R, E, A. A is the short A, as in bat is the short version, and in England the southerners don't use this vowel, but the long vowel is more of a northern pronunciation, as in Mac, whereas the southern English would be Mark. So it's A and A. This is the or and o, and this one is and Now I'm English, and Southern English, so I've done most of the pronunciations relative to that. The Americans, Australians, and certainly any other foreign languages, this is why this tape's useful, because you've changed all the vowel sounds to be different things again, and there's obviously individual differences between people and how they pronounce them. So the interesting thing with the one-tongue language is that if you change the vowel sounds, you actually change the meaning. And it's quite an interesting prospect when you relate all these sounds to the grid of logics that I have, to scan around and see how different areas of the country and different areas of the world have selected different sounds, which means they're actually emphasizing different areas of the logical grid, and which means they're speaking different things. So that's the 20 vowels. Let's just go through them again. The open vowels, the long ones, A, E, I, O, U, and the short version, E, I, O, U, and the long, the closed versions are E, A, O, A, E, A, O. Okay. Now we come to the consonants, and they form into nice groups of two. There's the vocalized consonants like B, where the voice is used from the moment the consonant is sounded, and then there's the aspirated consonants, in which the breath is used first and the voice comes in afterwards, like P. There's the initial sound of the vowel is with the breath, and I've also found that each type of consonant, the B and P, are both the explosive, what I call explosive consonants, come in three types, which generally are front, middle and back. So the first line of consonants has 6 consonants, 3 aspirated and 3 vocalized, and in terms of space in the mouth, we have B, D and G, B being the lips, D being the tongue at the front of the palate, and G being the back of the tongue at the back of the palate. And you can, when set together, you can hear the obvious relationship of that explosive, the sound being stopped and then suddenly let free. B, D, G. And that's vocalized. If we do those unvocalized, we have P, t and k, which are exactly the same sounds but without the voice beginning the start of the sound. So b, d, g and p, t, k. If we relate those to the appropriate sound, we get bdaga and ptk as the first line of the logic. Second line. This is where there's a buzzing made before the sound is released. So the vocalized versions are the at the lips, the at the front of the tongue, and ch at the back. Now, many English type languages don't use the ch sound. It's obvious in Scottish loch and many other foreign languages. But it's a sound that human voice makes, and it relates to the pattern. So we have the, ch, which is the second level. When they're vocalized and when they're unvocalized, the v becomes a th, the becomes a th, and the ch becomes a h, H sound. So we have the, ch, and th, h. And with the appropriate vowels for this level, we have vedacher and fisihi. So, third level. Again, this is a buzzing sound but used in a different way, and we've gone back from the lips now. We start with the z sound and j a little further back on the tongue, and j a little further back and harder. So z, j and j in the vocalized version, and in the unvocalized version we have s, sh and ch. With the vowels that becomes zazaja and sai sai chai. Did I say that? Sai sai chai, yes. Okay, and on to the fourth level. Now this is where we start with consonants that can be held almost like a humming sound, and we're back to the lips again. W, l and r. Lips, front of the tongue, back of the tongue. And we can continue these sounds before we make them w, l, r. And that's the vocalized version. The unvocalized version is f. The difference between when and while is f, and the l sound becomes the Welsh sl, and the r sound becomes y, y. So we have f, sl, y, and that gets us with the vowels woloro and foklo-yo. The fifth level is the m sound, and again we've got the humming m, starting with the lips closed and opening, and m, n and ng. In English there's not much of the ng sound, which is we would spell as ng, and this actually this sequence I only had half of it at first, because it took me a while to realise that the M sound at the beginning of the word is different to the M sound at the end of the word. M starts with the lips closed with the hum, but at the end of the word it ends with the lips closed. So although we write them the same, they are actually two distinct sounds. M and are, as you can feel if you do it yourself, made differently. So on the vocalized side we have M, N and Ng, and what had been up to this point the unvocalized side is vocalized again, but they're closing sounds this time. We have N and Ng. So putting all that together with the vowels, we have M, this is on the spiritual pole, and Umanung. And if we put the whole lot together, then we have Balaga, Peteke, Vedaker, Fitihi, Zazaja, Saisachai, Walaro, Potrakio, Mananga, Umanung. Whole alphabet all in one. And that's the entire sequence of the human vocabulary, all encapsulated in one. And I will try and locate with this on the One True Fact page. There is also the grids of the logics. There is much discussion on my timeline on Facebook, and if you relate these different sounds to the different logics they represent, like B is the initial sound of existence, and also beginning, yeah, so if you go through and relate to the sounds, you can actually start figuring out some words and how to speak this. Cool. Love you and leave you. Bye bye.